Well, good day to family. Good day to you. Welcome back to the channel. It's Coach Jay coming at your family. I trust you're doing well on today. I wish above all things that you're prospering, that you're in great health, even as your soul prospers. Family, listen at this. Yesterday, I went over to the store to pick up an item, and I was asking a gentleman to help me find it, and he did. It was actually right there in front of me. And he said, "Oh, I'm glad I could be of assistance." I said, "Oh, man, it's good." But it was a divine appointment. You know why? Because I got a chance to talk to him right there while he was still working. I said, "Continue to work, brother. I don't want you to, you know, look like you're getting on the clock or whatever, because eventually you're going to be able to get off this corporate grind." And he said, "What?" I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Think about it." I said, "Tell me your age." He told me. He said, "Man," he said, "Sir, I am 23 years old." And he said, "I went to the combine, and I, didn't make it and all of that." I said, "That's okay. You know what? Life always has it's a way of diverting you. But guess what? You can still win." I said, "What I want you to do is think about this." I said, "Most people are trained to go to college like you were going to college." He didn't graduate. He wants to go back, though. Uh, and I said, "Think about it. You're trained to go to college, get a good job, go to college by any means necessary, meaning student loan debt and all that. But now we see that, hey, your wages are going to be garnished if you don't pay that student loan debt back." That has been declared in 2025. At this end of this year, starting 2026, the government is going to come and garnish your wages. So you may be working that 9 to 5 and grinding out, but if you haven't been paying, if you've been negligent because of all these benefits because of COVID, they're coming to get that money. That's student loan money. That's government money. That's right. They're coming to get it. But listen at this, family. So I said, "Man," I said, "let me tell you this." I said, "I'm gonna show you how to get." I said, "I'm retired." I was showing him some of my accounts. He said, "Man, that's more." I was showing him the interest it was made over just from the year to date for this year of 2025. And he said, "Man, that's more than most people make in 2 years." I was like, "That's how the game works." I said, just learn the rules of the game and play the game and knock it out the box. Now listen at this. I said, "Man, let me get you there." I said, "You're 23 years old. You got 37 years to get to your wealthy place. All right, let's map it out." I said, "Say for instance, you make $300, invest $300 a month into your 401k plan, and the company they match you $300. Okay, whatever that percentage is. All right, you need to go and check it out. Make sure you talk to HR and all of that." And I said, "Put it in an index fund." I said, "Hey, get your phone out." I said, "Type this up real quick." I said, "You can continue to work, but take 30 seconds to type this up real quick." And he did. And I said, "Man, by the time you're 60 years old, you can have $2.3 million by investing $300 a month. Just continue to do that. Even if you go up, don't worry about it. Just continue to just do $300 a month. If the company's matching you $300 a month, that's $600 a month going into his account. But he's only invested 300 of that 600 because of the company match. That's right. $2.3 million, 10% compound growth. Invest into an index fund in that 401k plan, and you're winning, brother. You're winning."